that all of my students last year were fans of Doctor Who, it became less fun.
It became less fun because you have something that your students would enjoy.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm categorically against that. I am not here to make my students happy.
Well, lucky little buggers, they've got you to teach them.
No, see, the problem is I have 2 students from my class last year in my class this year, and it's like, well, I have to scare the crap out of them on the first day so that they pass in all their assignments and everything, but I have 2 students who actually know that I'm lying. Make them shut up. Yeah.
So you have to be mean.
Dude, I'm super good at being mean.
I'm not.
You've seen me when I get intellectually offended.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Are we on the air already?
Yeah, we're on the air.
Yeah.
Patrick
Well,
put it on and
because
talked about how I hate my students being happy.
well, actually, we started because you were playing with your sonic screwdriver, and then we transitioned into you talking about how you enjoy making your students suffer.
Look, if the students aren't suffering, then clearly I am not working them hard enough.
You need to put that on a banner in your. If the students aren't suffering, then I'm not teaching.
Well, yeah. Look, I teach creative writing. If you aren't suffering, then you're not doing it.
Yeah.
I believe we all know this.
Pretty much. We're all suffering, miserable artists.
This would be a lot more appropriate if this were vodka or something, but it's water.
Yeah, and I'm drinking green tea, so.
That'd be better if it was vodka. I'd be like, yes, I am suffering for my art.
I'm
I do have a very tiny bottle of vodka.
I mean, I have wine bottles up there, but I'm actually saving those for Purim, so.
I think the only alcohol in my apartment right now is Mike's Hard Lemonade and some wine that I don't think is good anymore.
Wine doesn't really go bad.
No, this wine does. This is the cheap.
You have Franzia in your apartment?
Hmm?
You have Franzia?
The box wine?
Yeah.
No, I don't have box wine.
You have $2 Chuck?
No, box wine is for alcoholics.
True.
Yeah. Box wine is for suburban alcoholics. Like, we have to be really specific about this. Because they're alcoholics.
You live in the countryside, you have moonshine.
Clearly, like, they're not rural alcoholics because, like, moonshine and beer. But they're not city alcoholics because then you just get a 40. These are suburban alcoholics who have enough time and means to get a wine glass and fill it, but not really the mental effort involved to actually get a bottle. So yeah, suburban alcoholics.
Or the hand-eye coordination to open it.
Right, right. You need hand-eye coordination to open it, and also just like, these are the people. Did you see? There was this ad going around. It was hilarious. For these wine glasses, they were stemless wine glasses that were made out of that like rubber material that they sometimes make baking sheets out of, where like it's squishable but it retains its shape.
Yeah.
And the thing on it said like, you know, because accidents happen. And everyone, you're just reading it and you're like, no, that is clearly a product designed for alcoholics.
That is designed for people who get sloshed regularly and have spent way too much money on replacing their wine glasses.
Exactly. Like, in what situation do you really, really need, like, wine glasses like that? I mean, if you were just poor, you'd use, like, a solo cup or a mug or something. No, that's for alcoholics.
They make this wine that it comes in little, like a stack of 4 individual serving cups now. So you just pop one off, pull the tab off the top, and you got like a single serving of wine.
That sounds gross.
Yeah, it's really not good.
You pop like a soda bottle. You pop the top.
Yeah, like a soda can of wine.
That's
Here, I'll show you.
Sure that the tin does really good things for the bouquet.
Let's see. I don't know what
you're
that's
supposed to
called.
let wine breathe.
Oh, here they are.
I don't think you can let wine breathe if you can shotgun it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, cheap wines you don't really need to let breathe.
No, but
And I think we're generally assuming that any wine that is sold with a pop top is probably pretty bad.
It's actually a foil. See, it's got like the foil on the thing, and then but they come in these little stacks.
Actually,
that like a foil. That's even more white trash because it makes it look like a pudding cup.
Yeah, it doesn't look like wine. It looks like it's like jam.
I was literally imagining like a soda can with wine in it. So that is actually a step up from what I had in my head.
To me, that's a step down just because it's like it's trying to be trendy.
That is true.
It's just like, no, if you're gonna be trendy, get actual wine. Get a bottle of wine. Be sophisticated.
Drink the bottle of wine. Though I will say, like, of all of the, like, artistic, artist drinks, I'm really happy that one of them is wine, because wine actually tastes good.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Actually, I had some wine the other day that tasted very good. I don't know what it was, but it was fruity and did not taste winey.
It probably was good wine.
No, because it was purchased by my friend who is broke, and the nice wine purchased by my uncle, who is very rich, was actually pretty good, but it tasted winey. Wine-ish. Like wine. Wine-like.
You can get good wine cheap. It just, just have to know what to get.
Yeah.
What to buy.
It's called Riesling.
Oh, I hate Riesling.
Kind of fruity wine.
It might have
And
been Riesling.
maybe I've just acquired a taste to it because I sampled a bunch of wines that my uncle, who is a wine connoisseur and saves the labels off of the bottles, has a little wine cooler in his house. At least last time I checked, he did. Selected them all.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, if given a choice where the writer's drink of choice were, like, beer or wine, I'm really glad it's wine. Or if the writer's drink of choice were straight vodka or wine, I'm really glad it's wine.
Okay, given those comparisons, I guess.
I mean, you have to consider along the lines of, like, we're probably going to pick something alcoholic. And of the choices, I'm really okay with this one. You can get halfway deep.
A big drink of writers, too, so.
What is?
Coffee.
Right.
Yes,
Unfortunately,
coffee. It's kind of like the drinks of writers are either uppers or downers.
Yeah.
that's true.
Well, depending on what you're writing.
Either stimulate us or something to like mellow us out.
I
Also,
will say-
depending on how good of a writer you are, if you can afford scotch, like that's the high watermark.
Yeah.
Like Hemingway shit there.
Yeah. Well, no, the true alcoholic beverage of the writer, absinthe.
Like, Hemingway was actually an alcoholic. I'm pretty strong feelings. Like, maybe he had strong feelings occasionally about what he was drinking, but I feel like most of the time he really didn't.
It was just get something to drink.
Does it?
Hemingway, if he had to, would have just drank like like refrigerator coolant, if that would have given him a good buzz.
Yeah.
Some good old
Dude was
prison toilet.
PSD.
Wait, who are we talking about?
Ernest Hemingway.
Oh, Hemingway.
I will
And
say,
we're
for
supposed
my
to
brand of
talk
writing,
about
I
Dr. Who.
Wait, what?
feel like that's an interesting personality test. Like, Are you a coffee writer or a wine writer? I think I'm a coffee writer.
I am 100% a wine writer.
Yeah, you are.
I'm alright with it, though.
Totally agree with that.
I accepted my identity.
Then there's the Four Loko writer who is an alcoholic stimulant.
Right. I feel like the Four Loko writer is responsible for some of the bigger box office atrocities.
No, that's cocaine that you're thinking of.
No, I really feel like the Four Loko writer came up with Ninja Turtles.
Hey, let's
like
not
that.
pick on the Ninja Turtles.
I'm just saying, like that seems very Four Loko. Elizabeth, are you a wine writer or a coffee writer?
I don't know.
Okay, just the comparison.
I'm a coffee writer.
What?
I think I'm a coffee writer.
Yeah?
I think I'm feeling the coffee. Yeah. I don't actually drink coffee, but
No, I
You're
hate
right.
coffee.
yeah. Because I think I'm more likely to stay up late into the night, abuzz with the moment, which seems like a coffee thing.
My writing kind of sounds like it's written by an angry person chain smoking and drinking black coffee. Which I'm not, but let's be real, that's what it sounds like.
I can see that. I think I just act like I'm drinking coffee when I write. Like, if I'm on a writing kick, writing is so much better than sleeping. So, coffee.
See, I'm a coffee writer
How
because
about
I'm
you,
the
Patrick?
opposite. I'm the opposite of what Elizabeth said. Sleeping is so much better than writing, so I need the coffee to stimulate me to get me to write.
Oh,
Because otherwise, I would sleep.
no, I
But
would.
like, what you're writing like? But Patrick, like think about it along this line. I write vitriolic rants.
Oh, I see. Writing style versus writing
Yeah.
habit.
Like I write rage-fueled cynicism about the social standards, and Dan
Okay.
writes sweeping romances.
I think I'm a wine writer then, if we're going by characteristics, because I write like dramatic things where I want them to have a happy ending, but I have to give them the better story ending, and so then I'm sad because I had to give them the dramatic ending.
Yeah,
The tragic
If that's the
backstory.
case, then I'm like a heroine writer.
you're like you're a heroine writer.
Because I write like depressing stuff.
I suppose that is a valid point. Actually, I would say you're probably more of a whiskey writer. I mean, a heroine writer would just make stuff that makes you, like, write stuff that makes you pass out.
Yeah, I don't think of whiskey. I think... I mean, I'd like to say I'm like some sort of sophisticated, like, cognac writer, but that's...
I don't know, I think of whiskey when I think of sadness.
Yeah.
Probably not super happy.
I don't know. Maybe a vodka writer. I'm a vodka writer.
Fair enough. Out of curiosity,
So-
Dan, what are you doing?
Huh?
What are you doing?
What? Right now? I was just getting ready to get my water bottle.
Well, you keep holding up your canvas.
Yeah.
It looks like you're painting or
I
something.
got bored earlier, and there's the IMAX version of the Guardians of the Galaxy poster. I don't know if you saw it or not. Hold on, I'll show you. But I was like, I haven't done anything creative in a while, so I should probably take care of that. And so I decided to make a poster for my room.
Very cool.
So this is the poster, and
Nice.
I wanted to do the whole thing, but that's a lot. So what I decided to do instead was I just did Star-Lord from it. So I'm in the process of filling him in right now.
Cool.
So I'm gonna do like just him, and then I'm gonna do the title off to the side. So
Very cool.
but my marker keeps running dry, so I have to stop for a little while, I guess. I have shitty Bic markers instead of a Sharpie.
Crossover Appeal is sponsored by Bic.
Yeah.
I hope not. Did we actually talk about Doctor Who now?
Guys, this whole time it's been very exciting talking about wine, but I did just watch the Doctor Who episode, and I have many feelings.
I know. Like,
I should now talk about Doctor Who, finally.
We are going to talk about Doctor Who because pretty much we've been having an AA meeting prior to...
Funny, considering that at least one of us present does not actually drink alcohol, ever. But, let's carry on.
Which one of us doesn't drink alcohol ever?
That would be me, but I don't think you do either, Debbie, so...
Yeah, I do. I just don't drink a lot of it.
Right, whatever, Doctor Who, let's talk. Go.
Okay, well, we are two episodes into the Capaldi run of Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we think of Capaldi?
I like Capaldi.
Okay.
I think... I do like Capaldi as an actor, very much. I'm still kind of withholding real judgment on the 12th Doctor, because the first episode was him just being nuts after regenerating, and the second episode was very interesting, but I'm really curious where they're going to go with it, and I think that will affect how much I like him.
I liked how angry he was.
I do like that he's like a grouchy grandpa. I do like that.
He could use more rage.
I kind of like the grouchy grandpa because that's who the Doctor was, way back in the day, originally.
Well, and I mean, he reminds me more of Eccleston than the recent Doctors, which makes me happy because I really loved Eccleston. But just like the comment, like, yeah, just in general, I'm appreciating the return to the Doctor is not nice.
Yeah, I think I like where it's going.
Like, if you met a creature that was infinitely more intelligent than you, had been alive for thousands of years, had committed genocide, had seen star systems rise and fall, it probably wouldn't be very nice. It might be good, but it probably wouldn't be nice. Because nice does not have a particularly long... Nice is sort of lackluster and usually lacks a long-term view. Nice is just nice. Good usually has a long-term view. So I can see that. I like this. It seems to fit more that he is that old and that wise and that worn down. That he's a grouch. Yay!
You like him because he's mean.
I do. I really, really, really do.
And actually, you mentioned you hadn't seen last night's episode. There's a scene you will like because I swear it's very much.
Can you quickly tell me which scene it is?
Oh, when he saves the pilot at the very beginning.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And she's like threatening him with the gun.
Yeah.
Is he a dick?
He's like, no, do it right.
Oh, I will like that. Yes, that will be nice.
Yeah, I think I like a lot of things. And I really liked last night's episode so very much. I think it was the first episode since Asylum of the Daleks that was really actually good. Like, it was miles better than all of 7B.
I do have to say, I really like Clara better.
Yes. She's so much better with 12.
It's really interesting because there's such a it's a jarring difference between their personalities now, and it works way better.
Yes. It's worked so much better. I loved in the season premiere when they were fighting in the restaurant, and she's like, "Wait, you mean I'm the egomaniac?" Like that whole just bickering, and then it just works so much better. And there's more of it and better of it in last night's episode, where she gets really angry at him and calls him out on being a bit of a jerk face and not being able to see past his own filter, and I really like that.
Well, and it works well because I think in general we remember the companions, like we remember best the seasons and companions when there was a large contrast in personality and attitude between the Doctor and the companion. Like Nine and Rose, those are two very, very, very different people. Ken and Donna, very different people. The problem with 11 overall, I would actually say, is that these companions were typically too close to who he actually was. That's why Rory stands out so much.
Yeah.
Rory was
one of the best companions of 11's era.
Because he gave such amazing contrast. And like, as much as I really appreciate Rose with 10 and 10 with Martha, the problem there is just that there really wasn't enough contrast. Towards the end of Martha's run, there was more contrast, but like with Rose, I never really felt like there was quite enough friction. They just sort of got on very, very well, and it was very sweet and nice, and I liked it, but
it's more interesting.
I like me some conflict.
I feel like an external and internal conflict. This is what we've been begging for this, and that's what we got with the Dalek episode last night. Massive internal conflict for the Doctor and external conflict with Clara.
Yay!
And also Clara trying to ask the guy out. That was great. That was really great too. What?
He asked a guy out?
Yeah, it was funny.
Right on.
So.
Yeah, I've been just really missing that aspect of the show. I want some fights. Give me some fights. And that was why, that's why for me, like, Donna and 10. I love Donna and 10. Because they were constantly challenging each other's worldviews.
Yes.
And because the Doctor wasn't always right.
Yes, another thing that I liked about last night's episode, you really need to watch it. Once we're done with this, you should probably watch it.
I haven't. I just haven't watched it because I, did this stupid thing where I hung out with my sister.
Oh, man.
How weird that I prioritize spending time with live human beings over watching Doctor Who.
Debbie, hand over your sonic screwdriver. You don't deserve it anymore.
If Doctor Who were the way we think it should be, then I would deserve it. This sonic screwdriver doesn't deserve me.
No, last night's episode has some awesome moments.
It gives me hope. The series premiere gave me hope. So basically with the series premiere, like, there was a lot of stuff. I was just like, what is this? Why is this happening? I'm still not interested in the whole Missy and Heaven thing. And Madame Vastra is kind of funny, but really bothers me. And Strax was hilarious, but yeah. What? Madame Vastra bothering me?
I thought you really liked Madame Vastra.
I did, but it's getting to me. So this is Madame Vastra by herself doesn't bother me. It's Madame Vastra and Jenny that bothers me. Because Madame Vastra is so degrading toward humans all the time, to the point where when she is degrading towards Jenny, there's no reason for me to believe that she doesn't actually see Jenny as inferior to her. It's
that
a very
true. Their relationship is super weird.
Jenny deserves much better.
I will say, like, the only interaction between them that I actually liked in that episode was the one where Jenny's posing.
Yes, I loved that.
That was really funny because Madame Vastra got called on it and looked sheepish.
Yes.
It
But that
wouldn't
never
have
happens. It's the only time.
It wouldn't have worked if she brushed it off. But because she was just like, art? And like she clearly doesn't have an excuse, that worked. And then
Yeah.
Jenny went along with it. And that where you're like, okay, that seems like a reasonable relationship. Like there's give and play. They're being silly with each other. Like that makes sense. The rest of it, I will agree, it didn't really work for me. For me, I feel like they're characters that you have to go either way with them. Either you have to like just man up and give them their own show, or you have to show them a lot less. Because you haven't developed them enough to make them regular characters, but
Yeah.
you've developed them, or you haven't developed them enough, but you've developed them too much, basically.
Yeah.
You keep showing them too much, but they're not sufficiently, I think is what I'm saying. Same
Yeah.
ground.
I think if we saw more, like, it would make a little bit more solid of an opinion, because, like you said, the whole art scene was good, but then, and even the fact that they brought it up, so the whole time that they've been in the show, I've always thought it was weird that Jenny calls Vastra ma'am in private. I thought that was weird.
Yeah.
And then they actually mentioned it in this last episode, which I thought was kind of good, where she's like, oh, in public we make the appearance of her being my maid. And she goes, which doesn't explain why I'm pouring the tea here in private. But at for that one, Madame Vastra brushes it off. Kind of like, shh, stop it. And so it was kind of like, well, almost there. You were almost there, but then you didn't do it. So
yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like, yeah, it just doesn't work. Like, I like them, and I really like the concept of them, but the execution has, similar to many things in Moffat's era, really fallen by the wayside because it's just sort of all hand-waved away. And there's really no value given to the question of, hey, Madame Vastra married a human of significantly inferior, like, perceived social class, and they have a really weird dynamic in their marriage, but seem to be perfectly happy. How about we talk about that? That seems interesting.
yeah.
We didn't. And, like, why is Strax there? How did Strax come to be there? Why do they let Strax stay?
That is a great question. And Strax was... I really enjoyed Strax and Clara's interaction in that whole...
That was really funny, but it doesn't answer the question of, why do they let Strax stay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, half the time, they're the ones, like, getting him out of jams.
Mm-hmm.
They could probably, I mean, all they have to do is, like, he's what? He's their footman? Like, you can hire a footman. Or a butler or whatever. I'm sure that you can hire one. And I'm sure that you can pay him well enough so we won't talk about the fact that you're a lizard.
Yes.
Or lesbians.
Well, they have other people working for them. Like,
Yeah.
you see other people, like, there at the house, like, doing stuff every now and then.
Then there's literally no reason for Strax to be there.
I think it's more of just they feel pity on Strax. Because
Okay.
he's a warrior, but he's a warrior who's not really that good at being a warrior.
I'm just saying. They need to either develop them more or stop showing them as often.
I just want them to stop showing them because, like, at this point, they become a crutch for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that a lot of people are starting to see the holes, like you guys were just talking about, where, like, what exactly is going on here? Like, I was trying to think the other day, have they ever really fully explained how the Doctor met all of them? Or is it just kind of like, hey, look, he has friends?
Well, also, like, why is Madame Vastra still alive? Because those lizard people weren't actually immortal.
They weren't what?
They weren't immortal.
Oh, right.
No. Well, why is she still
that-
alive? They met her. He met her in the future. Why is she back in, like, the 18th century? Or 19th century?
Right.
Yeah, why
And
are
also,
they
like-
there to begin with?
And she references, like, well, yeah, actually, because she references, like, I was here for the dinosaurs, and gives the implication that she's been on Earth this whole time. But later we see her and Jenny.
Well, they were all in cryo freeze.
Were they?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Well, in the one episode in season 5, they were, when they, the one where Rory died.
Okay.
Maybe there was another pod of them.
No, that still doesn't explain it, because she's in the 1800s, and that took place in present day.
That took place actually in the future.
Right.
Near future.
So what the crack is going on with Madame Bastra?
Basically.
I can only assume that, like, she...
If she has time-traveling capabilities, why do they live in Victorian England, where people will look down on her for being, you know, a lizard and also a lesbian? Like, why? Why is this a thing we're doing? Why didn't they just escape to the future where Jack Harkness is from, when clearly everything goes?
Everything goes.
Yeah, it's not anything goes, it's everything goes.
Jack Harkness.
In case we don't remember, James Marsters' character on Torchwood hit on a poodle. And a sports car.
And Jack Harkness hit on an insect.
Mm-hmm.
Lady.
This is its own category.
Which we just kind of assume that by the 50th century, everyone's just kind of like omnisexual.
Yeah. Though to be fair, Chanto was very nice.
Hmm?
Chanto. The insect.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying different species doesn't even know if they have any type of genitals. He hits on her.
Well, again, Captain Jack Harkness, who starts stories with, this one time I ended up in bed with both my executioners. They kept in touch. You can't say that about most executioners. I miss Captain Jack.
Who doesn't? Damn stars and their miracle day. Ruined Torchwood.
Probably Gwen. To live a nice, quiet life.
I don't
Where
have
she's
any.
holding her baby in one hand and a gun in the other.
That was my Halloween costume one year. I dressed up as Gwen from the baby gun scene. Because it's just such an amazing scene. But yeah, anyway, going back to current Doctor Who, I really like the character interplay. I have great hopes for that. I'm just done with Moffat's style of writing seasonal arcs.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm going to set up something very, very clever.
I'm really not interested in this whole Missy thing. That whole scene at the very end of the premiere and the one little mention in the next one, I don't care. I really don't care. I just want to see Clara and the Doctor grow as characters.
I agree.
Yep.
Unless that better be the payoff of all time, because it's very tedious.
It won't be, though.
It won't be.
Yeah.
He always rushes the payoffs.
I'm kind of ignoring it. Maybe it won't kill the rest of the season. I just have hope. I really have hope for this season because they did. I mean, Clara got that whole scene to herself in the basement of the restaurant when the Doctor left her there,
That
and That was really good. Like, that was really good. She got a chance to shine. She gets a chance to shine in the next episode. Like, I don't know if you consider this a spoiler, but there's a whole part where the doctor's like, go do that thing. And she says, how? And he's like, I don't know. Figure it out. Like, she gets moments to actually just be smart because she was set up as this really intelligent character and then never got a chance to do anything. And now she's getting a chance to do things.
Doctor.
Conflict with the doctor, and it's good, and I like it, and also Danny Pink. I love him.
What?
I love him. He had like 35 seconds of screen time. No, it was a little more than that. Like 90 seconds of screen time, and I already like him.
Who is this?
Danny Pink. He's the rumored Clara's boyfriend / new companion, possibly.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he'll get dragged into the TARDIS at some point.
Definitely. It's gonna happen.
They'll be on a date, and the doctor will be like, show up, and they'll be like, Clara, I need you, and they'll go running off, and he'll go running after him, and he'll run into the TARDIS, and he'll say, oh my god, it's bigger on the inside. Guarantee you, that's what it's gonna be.
I kind of hope that it's something where, like, they're on a date and the doctor shows up and he's like, Clara, I need you. And she'll be like, no, not right now. And he's like, no, really, right now. And she'll be like, can you not see here that I am having a date? And then he'll be like, you can come too, let's go. That's what I hope happens.
That's very Doc Brown-esque.
Yeah, I know.
Me.
It's your kids, Clara. Something's got to be done about your kids.
What, do we both become assholes or something?
All this makes me do is miss Rory. Because Rory's reaction to the TARDIS was hands down the best.
Oh, yes, it was.
Rory's just like, it's a trans-dimensional...
Like,
I miss Rory.
Doctor's
do the thing.
I like it when people say it's bigger on the inside. I like that. He's like angry. And actually, and there was a scene like that last night, actually, because when he saved the pilot, they landed and she walked out and she said, it's smaller on the outside. And he's just like, it's actually more impressive doing it the other way.
Yeah, no, I like it when the doctor... I know that's a weird thing to like, but I really do.
When what?
I like it when the doctor gets put in his place.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't think it's a weird thing to like.
And I think that will happen more with Clara now than it did with 11. Because as they kind of suggested it, in the season premiere, Clara had a crush on him.
What?
Clara kind of had a crush on him.
Oh, she totally did.
I don't think it was that big of a deal.
It was enough where I don't think she would have stood up to him as much. And now I think they're pretty much establishing Clara likes this doctor, but she does not like this doctor.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
She's willing to tell him, like, the annoying shit he does.
Also, Capaldi mentioned in an interview that he has absolutely no intention of making that flirtatious, and the implication that he gave in that interview was that Moffat was down for it. And Capaldi put his foot down.
That's what I heard, too. Was that, like, Moffat and Capaldi were actually fighting over it.
I've been hearing that a lot, actually. That Capaldi's basically...
Yeah, I have.
No, I'm not going to do that. No.
Capaldi's supposed to be, like, a hardcore Doctor fan.
Capaldi is, apparently, Capaldi was asked to audition for the 1996 movie and didn't, because he didn't want the heartbreak of not getting the part. Like, he's on that level of psychotic girlfriend.
He did audition, though, for the 2005. He
did audition for 2005. He also apparently has like, he sent in handwritten letters. He remembers the first Doctor. He's apparently really hardcore. We're talking on David Tennant levels of hardcore.
And if he has some kind of, I mean, putting his foot down is good, and if he's got sway over Moffat, this is a good sign for the show.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I appreciate the fact that we've got Malcolm Tucker telling Moffat where he can get off. Because while I do believe that a fair amount of his character on in the thick of
Okay, all your audio is gone, Debbie.
and there's a certain amount of it that is definitely him. And just his
I know.
rage.
I'm disappointed we won't ever see the Doctor scream, fuck off to somebody.
Okay, the one that I want
Never
is,
say never.
I really want at some point for him to slam the TARDIS doors on someone and say fuckity bye. Because that's my favorite of all of the Tuckerisms.
He might. One of the shocking things that from last night's episode is he kicked open the doors of the TARDIS.
Huh.
I don't remember that.
When he picked up Clara.
When he what?
When he picked up Clara, he was holding coffee,
Oh, so he did.
and he kicked open the door, and I just thought, that's weird. I've never seen the Doctor do that.
I like it.
'Cause he
Idris
loves
would
the
not approve.
I
Oh,
like this new
Idris
Doctor.
probably down for it. Are you kidding? Idris was kind of kinky.
She does fight.
That is true.
It's like kissing, but there's a winner.
That's the character that I always miss. Like, I always miss Idris as a character.
Yeah, she was good. That was good.
It was really sad that we only got to see her that once.
Let's
Yeah.
get rid of Moffat and replace him with Neil Gaiman.
That is my
Who would take the job?
ultimate Doctor Who nerd fantasy is Neil Gaiman takes over.
Everybody would need ultimate Doctor Who nerd fantasy, but he won't do it.
No, I know.
Because he's busy. Because Sandman and American
I know.
Gods.
Which is fine.
Well, I mean, I
which
don't know if he's
fine.
actually doing anything on on American Gods.
Yeah, it's going beyond HBO.
Yeah,
but
Brian
I'm pretty
Fuller is
sure he's still.
on it.
I mean, there's that. And he's writing another novel.
Yeah.
There- Neil Gaiman can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I've been re-listening to the Neverwhere radio broadcast. It's so good. It's so good. Anyway, going back to how much I enjoy seeing the Doctor be unhappy, I really think that gets at the fact that the Doctor, by virtue of the fact that somehow when he randomly regenerates and changes his appearance entirely, he has regenerated 12 times, 13 times, into a white guy. There's something really satisfying about seeing what is clearly a representation of Western values getting pooped on. It's just really...
He's actually regenerated 15 times.
Really?
We
Yep.
have to go over this?
And
Okay. But
I actually
I
did
just want
the
to say,
math.
every single time he's a white dude. And
Yep.
I don't know about you, but I really enjoy seeing the representation of our Western values getting told off. It's really satisfying. I mean, he's the British superhero. He's like who we wish we were. We all wish we could be the Doctor. Except some of us wish that the Doctor could get, just made miserable more often. In other news, I'm writing a paper for Doctor Who and philosophy, so that should be chipper.
Yeah, always.
In other news, now that we're like 40 minutes into this, I should admit that I haven't watched either episode yet. So
Oh, I'm sorry for the...
It doesn't bother me at all, and I have to admit, like, part of the reason is I just don't really care that much about it this season. I mean, like,
You call
was
yourself Dr.
That's
Star.
sad.
like yeah.
Watch the first 2 episodes and decide though, because they really were better.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna watch them eventually. It's just like the things that I watched leading up to that left such a bad taste in my mouth that I was kind of like, I'll get to it when I get to it. You know, like I'm not chomping at the bit to watch it right now.
Watch Outlander first. It's more entertaining.
Okay. Actually, I'm on Friday Night Lights. Huh?
You bought into the propaganda of that Cracked video, didn't you?
I
Soren
100% agree with that Cracked video, honestly. Soren Bowie made a ton of really good points in that. And I think one of the reasons I liked it so much is that he ended up articulating a lot of the problems that I have with the show, but I didn't understand exactly why I had problems with it.
Okay, and my crack about how, like, it's hard for me to like Doctor Who when I realized that my students like Doctor Who is because all of a sudden I realized that, like, it's lost a lot of complexity.
Yep.
What they were liking about it was fun, but it was none of the reasons that I'd started liking the show. And it was just this weird moment to be like, this is an unironic, like, 14-year-old girl, like, oh, he's so cute and it's so fun and I really enjoy it. And, like, that's fine. But I had to stop and be like, I got into this because it was a show about a character with PTSD, like, dealing with combat situations. Maybe I should reconsider this.
Well, the show is a lot different than when it first started.
Mm-hmm.
And that there was something else, I can't remember what it was, but there was an article or something that I read a while back that was basically Stephen Moffat can't deal with grief, so he never kills anybody. And that's one of the reasons why the show sucks, is because everybody lives.
That is something I definitely have noticed. All of the companions that have left the show, not a single one of them has died.
Yep. And even the quote-unquote saddest one, which was Rory and Amy getting shot back in time, doesn't make any sense. So.
Yeah.
Well, and also, I mean, like, the saddest one, yeah, whatever. That has nothing on Donna.
No, it never will.
Donna was heartbreaking.
But even Donna got a happy ending.
That is true.
Yeah. It's just like.
Yeah. But hers is still the saddest.
Yeah. I made a thing.
Right on.
Nice.
I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with the background. Because on one of the IMAX posters, they have the background is like kind of this purple-ish color that fades to red a little bit, but then the words Ooga Chaka are like really faint in the stars behind him.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to do that, but I don't know how. I'll figure it out. I got a whole other day.
Oh yeah, 3-day weekend.
Yep.
Yay.
I would like to make you all hate me now for a moment and say that I got a 5-day weekend.
Yeah, but
See you later.
my job pays for my health insurance.
When you're unemployed, weekends are meaningless.
And that is true. I don't get health insurance.
Okay, so the consensus seems to be we like Peter Capaldi, but we're still not sure about Moffat.
We're definitely not sure about Moffat. If this season is amazing, like I hope it's going to be, I'm unfortunately feeling like it's going to be a fluke and not because Moffat's actually good.
Yeah, see, I'm not unsure about Moffat. I'm still very sure about Moffat. Very sure that Moffat and I should probably not be in the same room.
I thought of you when he did his Emmy speech, Debbie. I don't know if you saw it or not.
I didn't. Was it terrible?
It was not great, but it was really short. But what made me think of you was the part where he said something along the lines of, I'd also like to thank my incredibly sexy producer who I also married. And I was like, what a fucking asshole.
Yeah, that's irritating.
I don't know why. It was just immediately when he said it, I was like, what a chauvinist. I don't like you anymore.
There's
Called
this
his wife sexy.
I don't know. It was like all the culmination of all those, like him being kind of a prick to women and like that he works with and not writing women well and all that stuff. So
And not hiring women writers.
Yeah.
Ever.
Somebody sent me a picture that was all of the episodes that were written or that for this season, and then who was writing each one.
Mm-hmm.
And the caption under it said something like, "I'm so excited for this new season," and my friend just said, "All I see are 4 opportunities for Stephen Moffat to ruin my life." So. It was 4 Stephen Moffat, 2 Mark Gatiss, and I don't remember what the others were.
Yeah, it's just worth noting that he actually has not hired a single woman to write an episode since he came on board. No women have written for Doctor Who in 3 seasons. And just in general, I just there was this really funny post on Tumblr where someone was like, to all the people who hate Moffat, you should at least refer to him properly as Emmy Award-winning writer Stephen Moffat. And so there's this amazing chain of responses, which is Emmy Award-winning Stephen Moffat is a dick. And Emmy Award-winning writer Stephen Moffat, has stated publicly that he has problems with writing women who aren't sexy. Emmy Award-winning writer Stephen Moffat has proportionally the lowest amount of racial diversity in his characters of any of the Doctor Who writers. And just going on and on and on and on and on, and it was great. But it also made me sad.
Yeah.
And it made me sad for the same reason that the J.J. Abrams Star Wars reboot makes me sad. These are actually pretty much the exact same problems that I have, which is a writer coming on board who doesn't understand why the original was good. That the reason we like Star Trek and Doctor Who isn't because it's flashbang space adventures, and it's not because weird stuff happens and what, and we don't like Star Trek because Kirk is sexy. Honestly, people who unironically are attracted to Captain Kirk make me kind of uncomfortable. But, we like it because it gives us hope. Because it sends the message that you are important and the things you do are important. And that you have a genuine and valuable impact on the universe. And Doctor Who and Star Trek were both filling the very same cultural hole in the 1960s with the same message. And I think that's really important. And I think it's very much worth noting that in the 2000s, when they were rebooted, especially around 2009, they both lost that.
Yep.
I think that's a good place to stop because no one's going to make a better point than that.
Yay, I bummed everyone out, and now we can stop.
Well.
Okay, well, hopefully we will enjoy the rest of this season of Doctor Who.
Fingers crossed.
If not, we'll do a future episode where we just complain and scream and yell.
We'll probably do that anyway.
Yeah. Next week, I don't know what we're going to be talking about.
Talk about stuff I don't care about.
Yeah. Debbie's probably not going to be here.
I won't be for the next few weeks. So talk about something I don't care about.
Okay.
So, Star Wars again.
Maybe.
Yes.
Well, I promised Elizabeth we'd talk Legend of Korra.
Yes. Yes.
What? Wait, talk what?
Legend of Korra. Season
Oh, I have not watched any of Avatar, but I will come sit and doodle other things.
It's
So,
a cool show. Yeah, I mean, you can do another art project.
yeah, I'll do Rocket Raccoon next time.
Very
Ooh.
good. You would
And
fit
then
in
you
well
guys
in the world.
Talk about video games or Star Wars or something.
I don't want to
There-
talk about video games. There's apparently a very negative thing going on in the video game community.
You
Yeah,
mean
there's
the
not really anything good
Star
happening
Wars?
right now.
Like, I go on Twitter, and every now and again I see someone being like, the gamer community is going to kill all the feminists. There's this weird war between the gamer community and the feminist community right now.
It's not a war, Patrick. It's not actually a war. Because trust me, speaking from the feminist community, we're mostly going, what the hell? Anita Sarkeesian and Zoe Quinn were both driven from their homes by death threats.
Yeah.
So, pretty sure this is not actually a war. Pretty sure
No,
this is...
I'm just saying, like, there seems to be, like, people on Twitter and stuff who are screaming at each other, and I just don't know why.
Yeah, it's because the video game community of males is full of people who cannot take constructive criticism.
That seems to be the bulk of it.
Yes. And
And
I'm
I
quoting
just don't get it, though. Because I consider myself, I mean, I play a lot of video games, and I don't want to kill feminists.
You went through 2 years of creative writing school where you got pooped right.
Yeah, that's true.
Save it for the
For
next
creative-
one.
Yes, next
Right.
we'll rant about stuff next time.
Okay.
All right, that is episode 91.
Bye!
Super appeal.
Woo!
Bye.
I can't get out! I lost my mouse! I seriously can't get out.